about Mo Salah. I mean, I saw you recorded the video for Robert Lewandowski this week when he's obviously got the golden shoe in Germany. I think you're on record as saying he's the best player that you've ever coached. I mean, obviously they're different players, but how does Mo compare to him in terms of the mentality to just be the absolute best that they can be? Because they're obviously two of the best goal scorers in European football, and you've obviously coached both of them for a number of years.
I'm not sure if I said he was the best player I ever coached. I think the question was that time, which player improved the most? And that was Levy. Because I obviously saw the player who arrived at Dortmund. We scouted him 2 years. So already in that year, he improved a lot. But when he arrived, he had some space for improvement. And the players today is absolutely exceptional. So that's it. Mo Salah is absolutely up there with him. There's no doubt about that. Mo is a goal machine. Definitely his professionalism is absolutely second to none. He's doing absolutely everything to be always fit, to stay always on track, to first in, last out, all these kind of things. So that's Mo. And on top of that, apart from his technical skill set and all these kind of things, he is desperate to score goals. So that's helpful as well. That is exactly the same like it is with Levy, and that's good. That's good. That's very helpful for a football, because whatever you do on the pitch, whatever you create, whatever you initiate, you need somebody who brings the ball over the line or in the back of the net. And Mo is absolutely there with the best I ever saw. Definitely knows that. The numbers he has are insane. And so it's, I'm obviously blessed to work with some good players during my career.
Thank you, Paul. We'll go to Paul Joyce and then Dave Malik.
Yeah, again, you're obviously being careful with the central defenders after the injuries that they've had. Would Joe being called up for England, would you have any concerns about that if the squad's named next week? Just on that same theme, is there any more developments on what will happen with the Brazilians ahead of the international break? Are you any clearer whether they'll be they'll get the necessary help from the British government?
Okay, let's start with the second part of the question. Not as far as I know, nothing new. So the rumors I know as well, but we could read yesterday in newspapers already, right? Was it with the 5 days and stuff like this? So there must be a solution. There must be a solution, obviously, because we cannot just leave it like it is and say, oh, it's not a problem. Yes, it is a problem. And I think, but I'm pretty sure the decisive people are working on that. I know they are working on that, let me say it like this, but there's nothing decided yet, at least as far as I'm concerned. But on top of that, it's only after next international break. But we have anyway a problem when the Brazilians are allowed, when they go, and what I expect them that they will go to the nationals. So we have the 12:30 kickoff at Watford. I'm not sure. The game in Brazil is Friday night morning at 1:30. I think it's around 30 something hours after that. So obviously nobody thought about that yet. I know it's a Liverpool problem, nobody else's problem. So, and good for Watford and all these kind of things. But I just don't know how you can do these kind of things, that nobody reacts on the schedule. So we have two problems. One is the schedule. It was always a problem. But it's like TV and other guys, Premier League, they're just, okay, that's how it is. They have to play. But then let's have a look how they can sort that. Another thing which is not good for the players, just to tell, and not good for the clubs as well. And I hope on top of that now that the government comes up with any kind of solutions. Joe Gomez, now, if he would get invited, I had absolutely no issues with that. It's good for Joe. Joe needs to train. Joe needs to play, definitely. And it's just now the situation we had here. And yes, I was careful. I tried to be careful. I tried to be sensible with the centre-half situation so far. We all know the three boys had big injuries, don't like to talk about it, but it's the past. But of course, we have to react on that. We cannot just think, okay, that's it. And now from now on, we do it exactly like we did before. They need to get rhythm, all of them. That's what we try to give them. But we need to win football games as well. So that's what we try to do. And yeah, so far it worked out. And hopefully it will stay like this for ever. Let me say it like this. That would be really good news.
Fantastic. Final question then, Dave Maddock from Barry.
Jürgen, just on going back to Mo Salah, I think if his next goal, he becomes goes into the top 10 all-time Liverpool goal scorers, which is kind of phenomenal given he's only been here for a few years. When we spoke last on his contract, you were confident that it would get done. So, assuming
Dave, I'm not sure that, hey, Dave, sorry, I'm not sure that's a fair interpretation of what was said.
Well,
what would back that up?
But anyway, the point being that if he sort of stays here for the same length of time again, he could actually become a legend. It could surpass even Ian Rush and Roger Hunt, which I kind of think puts in. What do you think about what he can achieve? Because obviously he still has a huge amount left at Liverpool to achieve.
Did Mo expect when he arrived here that he can achieve these numbers? Maybe yes. Did I expect it? No, because you can expect it, because you shouldn't expect it, because it put kind of pressure on the player. But he made massive steps since he arrived here. We played some really good football, which helps as well. Scoring goals, obviously, the team developed in the right direction, and Mo was had a massive impact on that, obviously. So, and all the rest, I don't know. So nobody should expect these kind of numbers, because you never know what can happen. You have to stay fit, and everything needs to go in the right direction. So that's all true. But I could not be more positive about the things Mo achieved so far already. But obviously, we are much more concerned about what can we achieve in the future. So, and we are in that season, and he is in a good moment, in a good shape, good mood, all these kind of things. So that's helpful. Obviously, he works hard, adapted to some changes we made in our setup, in the way we play and stuff like this. Really, but enjoys it even, and so that's all good. Then all positive. Nothing else to say.